Sky Outdoors, powered by Town Pump, fueling your next outdoor adventure, is also brought to you by Counter Assault, your ultimate protection in the wild. By Montana Army Navy. Get it, get out, and live it. The Outdoor Report is provided by Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. And Bob Ward's, everything outdoors, Montana style. Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Big Sky Outdoors. I'm Matt Redding. On today's show, we're trading in our traditional fly rod for something that is ancient and has its basis from 200 years old. Today, it's all about the Tenkara.
So I spent a couple years in Korea, and I was always an avid fly fisherman. And I saw these rods in fishing shops, and then I would see, we'd be riding along on a bus out in the countryside and see a pond lined with fishermen with these kind of rods, and I thought, what in the heck are they doing? They don't have reels.
Right. Tenkara is a traditional Japanese rod for high mountain streams, small streams. You can cover it, small area, but you can cover it really well. It's very effective. There we go.
So I know in Asia there's a long history. How long have guys been going out fishing like this?
Oh, since the 1800s, I'd say, you know, maybe even longer.
Okay.
You know? They were fishing for food, you know. They had to eat, so they'd go out and catch them, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
They probably did some trading as well, you know.
Yeah.
The traditional Japanese one was made, you know, from bamboo, as this one kind of looks like. And then the newer ones, they have a cork grip, all extendable. The nice thing about these rods, they break down to a small, you know, 15-inch rod. So it'll you can backpack with it, easy to carry around. It's really light in hand. You hardly get tired. You know, maybe get tired from catching too many fish. This is a good size for the Tenkara rod. It's nice 8 inches there.
So Lester, I've got a brand new Tenkara rod here. I've never used it. So how do I set one of these up?
Okay, what you do, first of all, you want to take this guy off and then put it somewhere safe, maybe in here, you know.
Okay.
Then you have this piece here, and you can take that out, and then we'll set it up.
Now, what's special about this line? Like, what makes
like
this more unique than other lines, in a typical line that you would use in a traditional fly rod?
It's a braided line. It'll cast easier. And what we'll use is they call it a cow hitch or a girth hitch. So do it like so, and then just put this. There's a knot on this end, so it'll keep it from sliding. And that's it. So all you do, you can extend this out, and that should be it. So what we'll do here is we'll add about 2 feet of tippet. We'll do a surgeon's knot, a triple surgeon's. There we go. And that should be good. We'll put a fly right here. Summertime, I love the ant. It's not that traditional Japanese fly, but this is what works. So we'll go with what works.
Exactly.
There you go.
Awesome. So what is the biggest fish you've caught on a Tenkara?
Oh, you know, I don't target big fish, but you know, I just still have fun with 6 to 8 inches, you know. For this rod, that's what it kind of likes, you know.
Yeah, because these rods aren't really built for big fish.
Right. They do have different models that can do it, but I don't have them. Really concentrate to see a fly, okay?
Since 1953, Town Pump has proudly served our communities as Montana's best convenience store. Town Pump offers a huge selection on all your favorite products, and we're always expanding to meet your needs. This month's specials include all sizes of fountain drinks, just $1. Corn dogs are 2 for $2, and Budweiser, Miller, and Coors 30-pack of cans, only $21.99. Town Pump is here to serve your community, so come visit Montana's best convenience store today.
Find your next adventure at Bob Ward's Sports and Outdoors. Bob Ward's Sports and Outdoors, Montana style.
The original rods were made out of cane, and now, you know, the new Tenkara is an extendable rod. This one's a 11-footer. And this is your traditional regular, you know, fly rod. It has a nice reel on it, and you can cast out, you know, 60, 70 feet if need be. This one doesn't have any guides. It just comes off right off the tip. And traditionally, Tenkara rods, they're actually probably 5 feet, because you have some short bamboo, you know, that you could use. But then they'd go up to 14 feet, you know.
So with the Tenkara rod, there's no reel like a traditional fly rod, and they're made to be held right down at the butt of the rod. And traditionally, you take your index finger, point it right down the spine of the rod, and that helps actually control what you're doing with the rod just a little bit better. Helps control also how much play you have in the rod. You know, depending on the kind of cast you need to do, you can choke up just a little bit, and it, you know, it makes it a little bit easier. And some people even will choke up a little farther depending on how they're needing to cast. But traditionally, you hold it right down here at the base, index finger on here. You can also hold it in this position, in this V position, to do your cast. And with the casting motion, you want to have a little bit of arm and wrist. So with a traditional fly rod, you know, we all learned that our cast should be between 10 and 2 o'clock. But with the Tenkara rod, you don't have the long line that needs to lay out behind and then come shooting back forward. You have a short line that's basically as long as the rod. We want to go from 12 to 10 in our cast. You know, one of the great advantages of Tenkara also is that in real brushy, tight situations, they're ideal for a number of reasons. One, you don't have a long back cast that's going to get snagged up in the trees. And two, you can actually, because the length of these rods, a lot of them are, you know, 12, 13 feet, you can almost reach out into the stream about where you need the fly to be, flip it upstream, and let it float down. Up a little bit, up to 12 o'clock, and your line and fly are essentially shooting straight up into the air and then back down onto the water, and so you don't have to worry so much about getting hung up in the brush.
In the fast stuff. Oh yeah, baby. All right, come on. Don't you pop. Nice. There he comes. All right. There he is, gone.
Army-Navy is your hunting headquarters. It's the best place around when you're serious about saving money on the things you need to go hunting. Knife sharpeners, wool gloves, backpacking meals, optics, socks, boots, insoles, stoves. Why, it's a virtual hunter's checklist. All name brands and all at fantastic savings. On Highway 2 in Evergreen and Highway 93 in Whitefish. MontanaArmyNavy.com.
Get out and live it.
So for my setup today, I'm using a little PMD from Montana Fly Company. You can get any of your Montana Fly Company flies that you need to go fishing at any of the Bob Wards in the state of Montana. And another thing that's very key for when you're Tenkara fishing is having a good net. I've got a really nice net here today from the Swan River Net Company out of Big Fork, Montana. Handcraft these out of cherry and maple. They do a great job in their shop there in Big Fork.
Yeah, they start out on the table saw, cutting strips. They go into the steamer, and we steam the strips, and then we put them into the forms hanging on the walls over there. Like when they come out of these presses, they're really ugly. Until I can run them through that flat sander, and then they come out looking more like those pieces over there.
You can find these at many locations throughout the state and also on their website at swanrivernets.com.
In Japan, there are a lot of them about this big, you know. Nice size, a little bigger. Right on. Flat water. Nice.
Counter Assault, the original bear deterrent, has been made, developed, and scientifically tested in Montana for nearly 30 years.
Counter Assault is what I chose for my staff based on my personal experience, scientific testing, and it's the only one that met all the expert recommendations. Spray time and spray distance are important in a bear attack, and Counter Assault has both. As an avid hiker, hunter, and outdoorsman, Counter Assault is my first line of defense in bear country.
Carry what the professionals carry. Counter Assault, Grizzly Tough Bear Spray. Look for the red can.
Here's this week's outdoor report by our friends at Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
There's a skipper. There's a woodland skipper over here on this nodding thistle right back here.
Butterfly watching is a growing outdoor activity.
Birding is such a huge hobby, and a lot of birders are starting to shift their attention to butterflies. So butterflying is becoming more and more popular, but we haven't, I'm gonna go Melissa on this.
Butterfly researcher Jeff Pippin enjoys both studying butterflies and teaching others about them.
Butterflies and moths are one of the most critical food sources for almost all of our native songbirds. And so knowing what's going on potentially with our butterfly and moth populations, that has ramifications up and down the food chain.
One way to monitor butterflies is through an annual butterfly count, which Pippin has seen participation increase due partly to the new butterfly field guides.
That's going to open it up to more and more folks that are birders or just hikers or hunters or naturalists that are out and about and seeing things, and now they've got a field guide they can turn to.
Wow. And even if you don't go butterfly watching or participate in an annual count, Pippin believes we should all care about butterflies.
We should care about butterflies if we care about our natural world, because they're an integral part. Butterfly and moth populations crashed, songbird populations could crash, and you have a whole network of negative ramifications on what we consider to be our natural ecosystems.
I'm Winston Greeley, out among Montana's fish, wildlife, and parks.
Oh, since about 92, I'd say. Not too long. After I moved to Montana, you know, then everybody was doing it, so I had to try it and just fell in love with it, you know.
Well, hey, thanks, Lester. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for showing me the roots of Tenkara.
You're welcome, yeah.
It opens up a whole other world of fly fishing opportunities.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if anybody wants any more information on Tenkara, where should they go?
Check the web, you know, Tenkara USA, or just check the web, and then they have all kind of listings, and check it out.
All right. Hey, I caught my first fish on a Tenkara rod today.
That's great. I won't be your last, I'm sure.
I'm sure not. Yeah, it was a blast. Thanks a lot for the day. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, we'll see you next time on Big Sky Outdoors.